everybody tonight.
This is it.
It's 5:58,
Wow.
This is it. It's almost over.
action,
He's ready?
action.
Who does the absentee
All
ballot?
right.
Should I get it from Karen?
Karen.
Let's go. Call the meeting to order. Salute the flag. All of us. I pledge allegiance to the flag.
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, clearly, there's no public comment, because there's, other than Ed, there's no public here. Do you have a comment, Ed?
I don't, but it should post in the meeting.
So, let's look at the meeting minutes from December 5th.
I have reviewed them, I have no comments.
All right, then I'll make a motion, we approve them as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. No scheduled speakers. We're going right to, let's do this. I want to hand out the proposed warrant articles. I guess and we'll discuss them in detail at the public hearing that we're scheduling for January 30th. But I think I'll put them on the website. Let people take a look at them, see if there's any input.
Yeah, as long as they say draft or proposed or something like that,
Yep.
so.
Yep. So we'll put that out. Yes, right, they're proposed.
And you're gonna add a petition on?
Absolutely not.
No?
That's the planning board. So we have a petition warrant article from 27 residents in town, and I'll read that article to you. It says, are you in favor of the adoption of the following amendment to the Brookfield zoning ordinance? Add the following, add to the existing section, page 4 of the current ordinance as follows. Lots located on Class 6 roads. Lots having at least 500 feet on a, let's start over. Lots having at least 500 feet of frontage on a Class 6 road may, upon successful completion of the permit process as set forth in RSA 671:41 and the Brookfield regulations, be developed with one dwelling. The lots shall have a minimum of 217,800 square feet, 5 acres. Subdivision of lots whose sole access on frontage is on Class 6 roads shall not be permitted. Subdivision of those lots. We've had the town clerk certify that the registered voters, there's 29 of them, have signed this citizens petition. So it is legal. We will give it to the planning board for their action. Oops, and here's the receipt. And we just read the warrant article, the petition warrant article that we received for building on Class 6 roads, so we're giving, and the signatures have been verified, so we're giving that to the planning board for their action. We have okay, they're going to raise the rates at Mitchell and Group. The law is not changing. She's still $240 an hour. We have two changes to current use applications or documents. Warrants, actually, is what they are. They are warrants. They are for map and lot. map 6, lot 7A, and map 8, lot 4A. They are both coming out of current use. They are both less than 10 acres. So I'll make a motion that we pass these warrants to the tax collector for collection.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. We have to sign that tonight.
Okay.
Let's see what else we have on this little notepad. We've got a new code enforcement officer starting January 1st, Jeff Greenhaw. I think I said it close to being right.
Pretty close.
He'll be starting January 1st. Nick has submitted his resignation. Cassie, our administrative assistant, has submitted her resignation effective early February. So we have to fill that position. We're just not sure how we're going to do that yet. We might just restructure the office staff a little bit. Okay, that's my notes. If you have anything, go
Yeah, I
ahead.
got one, we got a letter from Kathy Camp, the ones that rented the town hall this past Saturday, thanking us, and also giving us a heads up that she cleaned out the refrigerator, and after our breakfast, someone had put the bottle of syrup on its side, and it made a mess. So she cleaned it up, but there's some fat and some other things that she put on the bottom shelf that are ours, but she thinks they probably should go to the waste disposal. So I'll take care of looking into those and get rid of it if need be.
Well, we also got some feedback that we don't clean it very often.
Oh, really? I didn't hear that.
Well, not from her.
Oh.
We don't clean one.
We don't clean the buildings over there very often.
Okay.
And we don't. It's not part of the routine. This building is
Yeah,
clean.
right.
Do we want to raise the fee, have it cleaned, have the person who cleans it check their refrigerator, check that everything's acceptable when the event's over? We charge $50. That won't cover the cleaning fee.
Right.
Um,
What are you suggesting?
I suggest it want to be 100, but we can think about it, talk about it. We can discuss it January, but maybe we want the rent to go to 100.
Yeah, all right. Let's chew on that for a little bit then, because there's nobody now that's asking for it anyway, right?
Well, the people are going to be doing yoga starting early in January.
Doesn't she already clean it though? I thought that was part of the deal. No?
No.
We don't, usually volunteers clean it, or we ask her to clean it, and we pay her for it. So we can talk about that in January 2nd, our first meeting.
Okay.
I'm sorry, you done?
Just a quick note that the Heritage Commission and the Conservation Commission are going to have a joint meeting on February 14th. The primary purpose is to discuss the town preserve and more specifically in general, but the focus will be on the inn. The Hackett Inn is very good area.
Is it going to be posted for everybody?
Yes. Yes. I told them to, and they said they would.
Who's heading that up? Is it Heritage or is it Conservation?
I'd have to read the RSA. There's an RSA that tells, that instructs them how to conduct the meeting and who is going to be the chair for that meeting. And I know Mary Lou was aware of it. She was going to go through the RSA and make sure they conducted it accordingly.
So with this rainstorm, we got the call on emergency vehicles on a Class 6 road again. And the RSA say that for emergency vehicles, we have to make sure they can get on Class 6 roads. Our policy, just reaffirming, our policy is we don't do maintenance on Class 6 roads, but we had roads that were flooding and emergency vehicles couldn't get through. And it's responsibility to make sure they can. We don't do maintenance on Class 6 roads.
Right, but is there room in the RSA that says, if there are homes, you have to make it accessible?
For emergency vehicles, if it's an emergency, you have to make it accessible.
But I guess my point is, does that conflict with
Yes,
doing maintenance on the road?
yes.
So that means if we do maintenance on a road and make it accessible for emergency vehicles, it is open to development.
I don't know where that would go. But there's two RSAs that you have to deal with. One is the emergency vehicle RSA. And that's good for private roads also, by the way. It's not just Class 6. If it's an emergency and someone has to get in, you have to do the maintenance to get them in there. Which usually means plow, but whatever it takes to get in.
Yeah.
We'll check with the lawyer on it, but reaffirming, we don't do maintenance on Class 6 roads.
That's correct.
The other question that came up today was tree maintenance on our roads. There are hundreds of trees that are dying. What's our policy is the question. Do we cut them? Do we do preemptive cutting, or do we deal with them when they fall?
I think our practice has been to clean up after the fact, right?
Yeah, there's too many. If we started that program, I agree. If we started that program, we would be cutting trees that may fall into the road, they may not fall into the road. So it's our policy then, we don't cut trees.
I agree with that policy.
Okay. The road agent is not here tonight. He's been out for 2 days straight on this one. Starting at 6 o'clock yesterday, 4 o'clock this morning. We've talked about fixing Tumble Down Dick Road. I think the time has come. You couldn't pass through it again.
You know, I saw the pictures that he sent, and it was very odd because it had a washout in the center of the road, and it didn't seem like there was anything that was coming in, but there was a hole, so that means it had to have undermined.
Two different situations. One was a culvert that ran under the road, that washed out, and you got the crater. It was deep, went down 4 feet.
Yeah, I could see that.
And that just occurred this afternoon late. The other one was down by the caboose on Tumble Down, and that floods all the time. It just, people can't get in. I wouldn't drive through it. It was roaring. So that's the one we've talked about, putting some sort of bridge in there, box culvert or whatever. So I guess this is the year. There's too many people living back there that you can't get through.
And that's not class 6, right? That's class 5, where that issue is.
Yep.
Do we need to adjust our budget for that?
So we have
Let's
plenty
just
of
make that a priority with the money we have.
And we might be able to get some FEMA money, because we've spent a lot of money on this one. We have trees all over the place, we have washouts on the side of the roads. It was worse than the last one, actually. We
I
got
think
hit
it
hard.
was. I think it was.
So
So who applies to the FEMA, or how do you do that?
we're gonna have to figure that out. Yes, Greg?
Rich, on the emergency vehicle RSA that you mentioned, how does that reconcile with the RSA where people sign the waiver?
Don't know. That's the conflict.
I mean, it doesn't make any
That's right.
sense at all. Unless it was a pre-existing house
No.
before termed class 6.
It's good for private roads, it's good for any road. Once there's a building on it, and it's an emergency, you have to do what it takes to get the emergency vehicles in.
And it's possible that the building is not even in our town, but the class 6 road is.
Well, that's Genesis. That's the Genesis problem.
Right, yeah.
But yes, I mean, we've looked at the road RSAs, and there's a conflict there.
What?
You can do it on a private road. People that live on private roads, that do the maintenance themselves, it's an emergency, a real emergency, I can make the phone call and say, emergency, I need to get in, or I need emergency vehicles in.
And the town would have to go dump a load of gravel.
Whatever it takes to support the vehicle. Okay. We have bills? End of the month, end of the year?
Not end of the year yet. I don't have many, that's good. We have Amazon for some supplies, my tax forms, and $41.98. Spectrum, $94.98. The second request from the Gaffney Library for this $7,000, that,
That's the last half of the
Yes.
14 budget.
correct. Jan Ledbetter for coffee cups for the breakfast, $23.16. That will be coming out of the Heritage budget, out of the Heritage account.
Why did they-
Just a sidebar here
Yeah.
for a second, since we're on that issue. There's another one that should be in here to reimburse Mary Lou for
There is.
expenditures also.
Yes,
I made sure that they understood that there had to be a motion made and recorded in their notes for the Heritage Commission to approve funding for those two items. And they did that.
they did,
They made the
because
motion
I haven't seen
to
that.
pay Jan and to pay
Mary Lou.
Yeah, I don't-
Mary Lou. So we should be able to do what the auditor has asked. We should be able to show the checks
And then the,
and then show the
The
meeting
approval.
notes saying this is what we approved. They, the Heritage Commission approved these.
And you gotta read the RSA, and I'm not sure those bills come to us. They go to, with the meeting minutes, they go to the treasurer for disbursement out of the Heritage Fund account.
and it is, I am taking it out of the Heritage Fund.
Yeah.
It is coming out, it's just on our manifest because I can do that with my system. So it doesn't show coming out of our budget,
This
it's
isn't
coming
coming-
out of them. Yeah.
Just that doesn't.
It's a different fund.
Doesn't touch the general fund.
No.
I hear what you're saying. I just wonder if that's the way, whether it should be on a separate manifest. When you look at this manifest, how are you gonna know that in the future? Is it say?
It has a different account code, it's an 03 fund instead of an 01. So the system knows what it's doing. And it takes, see the 03, see the 01. So,
So I'm guessing
Yeah.
here, but if somebody had a question about using the system, how much did the Heritage Fund spend? You could
Yeah.
sort off that 03 code
right.
and come up with just the checks that we.
Yeah, I would think in the future if we had a separate manifest, just for their activity.
General fund, that amount. Heritage fund,
Oh,
that
okay,
amount.
that one shows two subtotals.
Yeah.
All right, perfect.
Yeah.
Is it necessary to do two manifests on, or?
I can. Fine.
You want to think about it some more?
No, I'm not sure. We manage the money, but they make the calls.
Correct,
We just have to sign the checks.
correct.
So it's not like we're approving them, they've been approved.
Right.
And that's what the minutes are supposed to validate.
Reflect, yeah.
Yes, but we're gonna make a motion to approve it also.
Because the money is in the town's hands, right? Treasurer's hands.
Treasurer's hands,
Yeah.
under the management of the Heritage Commission,
Right.
not the select.
Right. I mean, if I didn't put it on the manifest and write a check for it, I would have to go to the bank, take
Yeah.
that money out of that account
Yep.
and put it in, you know what I mean? So it's,
I understand.
Yeah.
So I understand.
okay. All right,
Good.
ready?
Yep.
Karen Servasic for paper clips for DMV documents, $6.62. Karen Servasic for trash bags for the townhouse, $42.92. Kindle Construction, $775, fixing potholes on Lightford, salting the roads. That was back on the week of, last week actually. And then his other one for the week before, ending the 11th, $2,535. Mostly that was just plowing and sanding and salting. Heritage Commission, Mary Lou.
So just
I'm sorry,
that
yep.
check total for that one is just the one check?
Yes.
So it's
to-
3310.
Yes.
Okay.
Heritage, Mary Lou McLean, $262.18, and that's for the supplies for the Heritage breakfast. Mitchell Municipal Group, $1,467.33 and $27 for Mitchell Municipal. I had a request by email for the Moose Mountain Regional Greenways for $100 that they had put in the budget last year to be sent to, Union, it goes to Moose Mountain Regional Greenways, P.O. Box 191, Union, New Hampshire. Jillian Eldridge.
I would ask the Conservation Commission, they're the one that sponsored that.
Yes, this is where this came from.
Oh, okay.
This came from Faith. Faith
Oh,
Hill.
fine, fine,
Okay.
so they, yeah, fine.
Morton Salt, $2,662.47. And Rod Wood for $4,962.50.
Is there, I think that's most of the year. I
I
think he
think
bills a year.
Yeah. It's for May through December,
Okay.
general assessing services.
Yep.
And so that makes the manifest total $20,001.14. And that's broken down into the general fund at $19,715.80. And the heritage fund at $285.34.
I'll make a motion, we pay the bills as read.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Joanne, do you have anything else?
I don't.
Ed?
The only thing I will say is that I'm going to do a payroll at the end of December to clean up all the hours that we owe for December, and then we'll move into January. But
Okay,
I
I will be around, so you
Yeah.
can just call when you're ready.
it might, we can even wait till the January 2nd meeting probably,
Okay.
but they'll be dated December, so.
Okay.
Nope, I don't have anything else.
Greg, you have anything?
No, sir.
Ed?
Is the code enforcement officer a contracted employee or a regular employee? And how much is he?
Regular employee,
And what is the compensation?
$10,000 a year.
Thank you.
Okay, meeting's adjourned, 6:22.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Do you need initials here, or is that what you?
I just, yeah, I mean, I think you guys have to.
Are you only going to do signatures and no more business conducted?
No, no other business that I know of.
What do we know of?